Let's understand if-else using whether. If-else help us to take decisions in programming. Imagine if it is raining, you can take an umbrella, else you can go out normally and enjoy the weather. That's if-else. Confused about Elif? Let's make it super simple. Elif is used when we want to check multiple conditions one by one. Meaning, if the first condition is false, the program moves to the next condition and keeps checking like this. Suppose you are a class teacher and you need to prepare a report card for your students. Let's say you are checking marks. If marks are above 90, then it's grade A. If marks are in between 75 to 89, then it's grade B. If marks are in between 60 to 74, then it's grade C. If marks are in between 50 to 59, then it's grade D. If marks are below 50, then it's grade F. Here, each condition is checked one by one. This is Elif. Elif means check the next condition. Nested if. Confused about nested if? Let's make it super simple. A nested if means using an if statement inside another if. First condition is checked and only if it is true, then the inner condition is checked. Let's understand the real life example. Think of Google sign-in system. First, username is checked. If it is correct, then only password will get checked. This is nested if. Let's understand it with the help of the diagram. If statement of username is correct, only then it will check the if statement of password. Otherwise, if the username if statement is incorrect at its first place, it will not going to check the password if statement.
Hello everyone, this is Sundus Firdaus. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope now you understood when and where to use if else, elif and nested if statement. Now let's learn how to use them in our coding. Let's create code for all the animation that we just saw at the starting of this video. But before that, let's go through the definition of if, else, elif and nested if. So here, if is used to check a single condition. If the condition is true, the code inside the if block runs. If false, the else block will run. In elif, elif is used to check multiple conditions one by one. If the first condition is false, the program checks the next condition. Nested if, a nested if means using an if statement inside another if. The inner condition is checked only if the outer condition is true. So here's the one line revision. If else, check a condition, true if block, false else block. Alright. Now elif. Elif means check multiple condition. Nested if, condition inside another condition. So now go through the logic. Now here's the logic building template that I will use for all my coding. First we see the if else example. Okay, so it is regarding raining. So let's see how to convert that animation into the coding. Let me first copy the first step from the logic building, paste it here. Okay, now so in step 1 we will take the input from the user. So let me create one variable weather. Now I will take input function, and inside that will pass a string like is it raining. Now user supposed to give me input in yes or no. Okay, now next step is convert it if needed. Okay, now we'll do the conversion. See, why I'm converting user input. Let me write here one more thing, lower. Okay, so I need to convert weather is equal to weather dot lower. Why? If user type Y in capital letter or S in capital letter, so my code will not run, it will fail. So just for security purpose, whatever input I will receive from the user, it will automatically convert it into lowercase with the help of lower function. Okay, so that is why I'm using it for conversion. Now my step third, that is related to, one second, copied, nested if. Okay, yeah. Here I just wanted to know that is it raining or not. I want output in yes or no. So for that I will use if else. Okay, so here let me write the code. If whether yes, then so what I'm doing here, see, if weather is yes, it means if it is raining, if I receive an input from the user that yes, it is raining, then take an umbrella. Alright, else what? Else result is equal to, okay, no need for umbrella. Now the thing is the fourth step. Okay, so I use fourth step inside the logic. Let me show you how I used it. Okay, so here I am using result variable to store my result inside this result variable. Alright, so at last I will print out the result with the help of print function. So now copy this step and paste it here. Now write print function and inside it just paste it. Sorry. Okay, so this is how you write the code. Alright, now let me run the code. For that I will write Python space day2.py. Okay, so is it raining? If I say yeah, it's raining, then I entered yes, enter button, take an umbrella. Okay, if it is not raining outside, then let me again run it. I will type yes, sorry, no. Now this time I will write N capital and O in small letter. Okay, now hit enter. See, still it worked because I used lower function. Okay, so it converts the user input into the lower case. Now understand the second animation and we'll convert that animation into the code. Now, okay, let me comment this code because I don't want to execute it again. Okay, so, all right, now next. Okay, okay, all right, so what I'm doing here, I will use the same logic. We'll copy this logic and paste it for the grading example. So now I will take the input from the user, copied. Now do the same. This time I will take marks variable and will take input from user as enter marks. Okay, now I need to convert my input into the number. As we already know, input function is by default string data type. So we need to convert it into integer data type. For that we will use int function. Let's see how. Okay, I will write int function and then copy this one, copy it and paste it inside int function. That's it. It got converted into integer now. So you can pass marks inside it. Okay. Now I will take these two steps. Okay. Now what I will do here, that if marks 90, then my result will be grade A. So what I'm doing here, if my marks is greater than or equal to 90, then my result will be grade A. I will assign that student grade A who will score 90 or above 90 marks. Okay. Now I will create Elif. I'm giving more condition, multiple condition. For multiple condition, we will use Elif. So in Elif, now give marks like now you need to mark a student. Okay, a student who will score more than 75 or 75 equal to 75 marks. So it will be rewarded as grade B. Okay. Now we'll do the same for all the grades. Let me write the code, then we'll explain you. Now I will write else block. This is for the student who scored below 50. So they will be awarded as or rewarded as grade F. Okay. Alright. Now, so here's my complete code. I need to write one more code, that is to print out the result. Then we'll explain you the whole code at once. Now I will take print function to print my result. Alright. So what I'm doing here, let's go through it. First, I will take input from the user, then we'll convert it into integer because input function by default belongs to string data type. Now here, with the help of int function, it will convert it into number. Now I will create a logic. This is my marks. The student who score equal to 90 or above than 90, they will rewarded as grade A. If a student scored 75 or above 75 marks, so they will awarded as grade B. If a student scored equal to 60 or more than 60, then we'll assign grade C. And if a student scored equal to 50 or more than 50, then they will get grade D. If a student scored less than 50 marks, then we'll assign them grade F. F means failed. Only one block will execute, the first one that evaluates to true. Alright, that means if this condition gets true, then only this block will execute. That's it. If it is false, then it will move on to next. If it is false, then it will move on to next. If this condition is true, then it will not going to execute the rest of the code. It will stop here. Okay, and then return you the result. So with the help of print function, I will get the output. So let's run this code and understand how it works. Alright. Now let me clear my terminal first. Okay, let me see my existing code. Yeah, they are commented. So let me comment this line as well, huh? Because sorry, I want to use this line of code. Why? Because I want to use the line of code that is already in int data type. That means I need to take input from the user. So input will be received in the form of number. So for that I did conversion. So directly I will use this line. I just wrote this line of code for your understanding to how to take the input from the user. Alright. Now let me execute this code. This time I want to give 32 marks. Now hit enter. I received grade F as an output. Okay, so this is how it works. I hope you understand this code. Now let's move on to next topic that is related to nested if. Nested if. Okay, now how to do it? In animation, we saw the example of Google login, Google sign in. So let's convert it into the code. Let me first copy the logic. I will use the same logic and will create the solution. Let me come in this code because I do not want to run it again. Okay. Now let's take an input from the user. Here I will take username as a variable. Okay, now we'll take input with the help of input function. We'll write some string inside it like enter username. Okay, now second step is related to conversion. So here I will convert it into the lower form, into the lower case. As you know, in Google sign in, first is ask for username. So we generally enter our Gmail ID. Okay, so it is in lower case. So for that, if accidentally user might enter some capital letter character, so my code will fail. So for my safety, for my code safety, I will use here lower function. Let's see how to do it. Let me copy this. Okay, let me copy the whole line of code. Copy and V. Now let me write lower function. Okay, so it will convert whatever input I will receive from the user. It will automatically convert it into lower characters. Okay, now let me copy the third step. Now here is the main logic works. We already saw in our example in animation video that first it will validate the username. If username is correct, after then it will check for the password field. If username is incorrect at first place, then it will not going to check the password field. Okay, so how to convert it into the code? First I will use if statement. I will get if statement for username. So if my username is equal to admin, only then I will enter to the next step, that is for password. But before that, let me write the else block for the if statement of username. So what if my result, okay. So what I'm doing here, I wrote if statement for username, it should be admin. Okay, so this is the correct username. If suppose this admin, if you enter something else instead of admin, you entered maybe Johnny, Mike, whatever. Okay, so In that case, it will return username not found. Okay. If a user entered the correct username, that is admin, then what will happen next? It will check, it will ask you for the password. So I will take here input. With the help of input function, I will take password from the user. Okay. Now, so if hmm, if password is equal to, let's suppose 1 2 3 4, okay, then my result will be login successful. Okay, so my correct password is 1234. If I enter the correct username after then correct password, then my login will be successful. Otherwise, what will happen? I will write else block for password. Okay, so here I will write wrong password. So what this code is doing? First, it will check the username admin. If it is equal to admin, then it will ask for the password and will validate it. Otherwise, if username is not admin, it is something else. So it will bypass this whole logic and directly jump into the else block field, okay, and then execute this one. This is a statement it will execute. If username is equal to admin, then it will ask you for the password and will validate it whether the password is equal to 1234 or not. If it is equal to 1234, then login will be successful. If not, then it's wrong password. Okay. And whatever the result you will get at last, it gets stored inside the result variable and you will print out that same output or result with the help of print function into the terminal. So let's do it. Enter username. Okay, let me enter first admin, or let me write a capital admin. Okay, let me check the lower function is working or not. So hit enter. Okay, let me comment the first line. Yeah, this line, because I just wrote this one for your understanding that how to take the input from the user. Okay, let me complete this. Okay, let me clear it again. And okay, this time at min. Okay, now hit enter. See, it worked. This admin worked because I used here here lower function to convert user input into the lowercase. Now it is asking for the password as my username is equal to admin, so it is now asking me for the password. If I give here 1234, my login successful. If let me clear it. If I give username as Jack, the username not found. Okay, it will not going to ask you for the password. At the first place, if username is incorrect at the first place, so it will bypass this whole logic and directly jump into the else part of the username. Okay, so username not found, it got printed out. Now let me clear the terminal. If my username is correct, for example, admin, sorry, let me run the code first. Okay, admin. Now I will give some incorrect password. See, wrong password. Okay, this is how this code will work. I hope you understood it. So here are some practice question. So what you need to do here, print the even number. For that you need to use if else and use modulus operator. Okay. In next question, print the largest number. Try with two number. In solution video, I will tell you how to do the same thing with 3 number. I will use the same logic that will be used for 2 number as well as for 3 numbers. Here is the hint, use if else and use this greater than operator. Now in third question, ATM withdrawal system. Here you need to use nested if. Okay, so try to take input from the user, balance and withdrawal amount. After then make a condition if amount balance is smaller than or equal to balance. For example, you have balance in your account, let's say 5,000 and you need to withdraw 1,000 out of it. So it will allow the withdrawal, else it will tell you that insufficient balance. Okay, if it allow you the withdrawal, then you need to enter the amount and that amount should be divisible by 100. Okay, if you withdraw 1,000 rupees out of 5,000, so you will get 100 rupees notes. Okay, so it should be divisible by 100. After then, if it is divisible, then transaction will be successful. If it will be not, then it will ask you to enter multiple of 100. You can't enter 918, 1014 because it is not divisible by 100. It will give you remainder and I want remainder as 0. Okay, so try to solve it by yourself. And in next video, I will give solution of all these 3 questions. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching this video.